Blessings everyone, how you doing today? This is King Kevin Dorival, back at the yacht, relaxing and ready to give you some good energy and some positive, inspirational words that can carry on with you throughout the day, throughout your life. There'll be tidbits here and there that, will resonate with you very well, so pay attention. Keyword, pay attention. Now, fear. What is fear? How can fear be so powerful in our lives today? Why is it that we experience a particular event or incident and we're still constantly fear that this thing may reoccur again? Now, these are the things we're going to talk about, okay? Now, did you know that fear is a spirit? Just like motivation, just like inspiring words, just like when someone curses at you, just like when someone is lusting after you, these things are spirits. For example, when you're drinking alcohol, when you consume enough alcohol, you become drunk. Some people are drunkards. But when you consume enough of that alcohol, you begin to act a little differently. That means that you are no longer that same person, that same spirit. That's why, if you notice, at the liquor stores, they call it spirits and wine. Think about that. They call it spirits and wine. It's not because it sounds good, it's because it's exactly what it is. You become another being, another spirit, another entity. And therefore, you lose control over yourself. That's what spirit does. Fear, did I say spirit? Fear will actually grab you. It will actually take your heart, it will take your mind and take control over you. There's a verse in the Bible, I can't think of the name of that verse right now, but it says, fear not, right? There's another one that says, God did not give you a spirit of fear, but of strength and a sound mind. Now, that's very powerful. Having a sound mind meaning that you are single-minded, you're not double-minded. Double-minded means that, you have different, you're very confused. Everything is sort of ambiguous about you. And many people have that double-minded spirit, which leads to distrust and lack of honor, because you don't know what type of person you're going to be dealing with. And this is what we're going to be dealing with in this video, because at one point in time in my life, I allowed fear to control me. I allowed fear to dictate my next move. As a matter of fact, I allowed fear to almost get me not to publish my first bestseller, which is The 7 Types of Queens King Desire. If I had allowed the doubters, if I had allowed the naysayers to dictate my move, I would not have published this book. Even though it took a little time, 7 Types of Queens King Desire, it took a little longer than expected due to little hiccups and bumps in the road, but that's what life's about. You're going to face bumps in the road. You're going to fall. That's a given. That is going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. That's just a part of life. You think all eagles are always just soared in the air? No. They had to have a couple of rough flights and a couple of crash landings until they got it right. But you know what? Those eagles tried. And they tried until they got it right. As a matter of fact, eagles, they plant their nest on the highest point of any area where they live. They will never be a type of bird or species that has their nest beneath any other, any other nest in that area. That's how powerful the eagle is. And that type of spirit is a courageous spirit. They know who they are. They understand that they are a dominant species. They understand that they are on earth, on the planet, to rule and reign. And that's what God has us on earth to do, rule and reign. Not necessarily to dominate other people, but to dominate territories. You follow what I'm saying? The enemy wants you to operate in the spirit of fear. Why? Because you will not reach your destiny. You will not reach the place that God has given you to overcome, to become. Because fear changes our direction. It changes our energy. Energy is a spirit. People can have a positive spirit. People can have a negative spirit. Either way, whether it's negative or positive, we have to strive to be the best person that we can be in any and all given circumstances. Yes, sometimes we may have a long day. We might have had a bad flight, you know, where the whoever you call them at the front desk of the flights, they mess up your flight and you have to wait at the airport 10, 12, 15 hours. I would never do that. As a matter of fact, I had a situation like that recently on Easter of this year, 2017, where me and my cousin missed our flight. You know, Gary. We missed our flight because the flight attendant, you know, something was wrong with the computer. So she couldn't handle all the people that was there waiting. You know, yeah, it would have helped us if we would have got there a little sooner. We just barely missed the flight by 5 minutes. However, fear became, you know, it controlled us at that very point. Oh my God, we're going to miss this flight. There's no flight coming until 10 o'clock at night. And what was going to happen was going to happen. We was going to miss that flight regardless. Now, what I did was, instead of being fearful and allowing that to dominate my spirit in my day, to dictate my day, I said, no, okay, so what? I'm going to miss that flight, and I'm going to catch me another flight another day. It was Easter Sunday. I'm in Atlanta, you know, the land of, you know, the most beautiful people in the world, you know what I mean, especially the women up there in Atlanta. And thank you for all your support. I'm coming to Atlanta for my book tour. I'm coming this fall, so you gotta be on the lookout for that. Go to the website, 7queens7kings.com. Had to say that. But when I was up there, man, that's the best mistake I ever made. I ended up catching me some, you know, a barbecue. I ended up eating at a restaurant, meeting a celebrity from the Atlanta Housewives, giving her my business card, telling her who I was. I gotta look her up, by the way. Now I'm glad I'm talking about that. I met this family. I created some new friends in Atlanta who welcomed me to their home. I didn't get to go to their home, but they welcomed me to come anytime. I mean, it was a beautiful time. I loved every moment of it. On top of that, when I got back to the airport, I had a plate of home-cooked barbecue to eat before I got on my flight. So it all worked out good because I didn't allow fear to take control of me. Now my cousin, on the other hand, he listened to the story, took a flight to Chicago, from Atlanta to Chicago, just to come back to Fort Lauderdale and spend nearly 12 hours on a holiday just to get, you know, back home. And I was not with that because he feared that he was going to miss this appointment. Now back to what we're talking about today, which is controlling our lives. You know what lions do when they're about to have a prey, when they see someone they're going to attack or something, or an animal they're going to attack? They roar. Why do they do that? Because they know that if they can put the fear in you or that other animal, the prey they're about to attack, that animal will be paralyzed by the roar of the lion. As a matter of fact, when lions make their lion call, you know, which we call a roar, it paralyzes the person. And actually, it shakes the ground. The vibrations from their voice, from their roaring, actually paralyzes their potential victim to a point where they don't even move. And that's what the enemy wants to do. The enemy wants us to be paralyzed. They wants us to be stagnant. Wants us not to write that book, the book you've been wanting to write. Not to produce that film you've been wanting to produce and direct. Not to start that fashion line. Not to start your real estate business even though you don't have enough money to even buy a property. But have you ever heard of something called faith? Because faith is a spirit as well. And when you have the spirit of faith, faith allows you to become stronger than what you were before faith became part of you. Faith isn't something that comes in seasons. You can live a lifestyle of faith and be in your life for a reason. Which, as a matter of fact, you probably should practice a life of faith more often. There's a lot of times where we don't have the funds or the finances, connections, or support. And I can tell you a lot about lack of support or having an abundance of support. Because my family, unfortunately, my siblings, my immediate family do not support me. Why? Because I'm the Joseph of my family. My dreams are too big. My dreams are beyond the average person's capability of understanding, you know what I'm saying, my ambition. My ambition is just that big. And I say that not because I want to boost or brag. I just want to make a good example and tell you guys why my dreams will continue to prosper. Because I believe. I believe in what I'm doing. I believe in my goals. I believe in my dreams. I will never give up. I will keep moving forward. I will keep striving. And I will keep going. You know why? Because dreams allow us to be happy about tomorrow. Dreams are perfect for allowing us to continue living and be inspired. One of the things, and I'm going to grab this iPad right quick. I'm going to be on the time of the video that I wanted to do, but I want to keep going in the flow that I'm in. I'm in a good spirit. And I'm always going to be in a good spirit because I refuse to allow other people's attitudes, whether it be over the phone, whether through email, a text message, or social media, or direct, contact. Because people will do that. But with faith, when you're speaking with someone with faith, someone who actually believes that God is the Most High God, that God is creator of all things, there's nothing impossible. When you have that kind of interaction, you're building with someone like that. You're to and fro with this person, the yin and the yang. I mean, sky's the limit. And actually part of my book, 7 Types of Queens, a great part of my book, probably half of the book, is about faith and positive energy. Understanding that, especially women, all women are queens. Let me get that to the point. All women are queens. It's a matter of knowing what type of queen you are so that you know that when you're going out and you're dating someone, that if this person does not measure up to your energy, to your consciousness, and the vibrations don't line up, then you know that you're dealing with the wrong individual. You're wasting your time. I'm not saying he has to have, the big accolades, the degrees, the fancy clothes and the cars and the fancy condo. I just happen to be blessed with this place. I call it the yacht because I live and operate a life of faith, But when a woman is dating me and we both see that we both respect each other and we love where each other's going, then it becomes a beautiful thing because then I can either meet her in her path or she can meet me in my path. Or it makes it even better, we both meet each other halfway and we head towards the same path, the same direction. Because at some point in time, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have to submit yourself to someone's dream. Either submit yourselves to your queen's dream, guys, or women, my queens, you have to submit yourself to your king's dream. There's no way both of you could be going towards lifting up a mountain by yourselves. You're going to need that help. And I know it's kind of tough. And I know the spirit of fear of, if I dedicate my life, my energy, my power, my resources, my money into this woman or this man, then what if they leave me? That's the spirit of fear. Because if they're going to leave you, they're going to leave you regardless. It has nothing to do with the money, even though no money, no honey, like Pastor used to always say. But when you have the spirit of fear and you take courage and you understand your position in this world, which is very important, then sky's the limit. When you understand your history, when you understand the history of, speaking of me, I understand the history of my ancient ancestors, way back in Nubia, way back in Kemet and Kush, and these all countries throughout Africa, Kemet, which is Egypt, and Kush, which is today's Ethiopia, Nubia, which is that whole northeast region of Africa, and also to the west, Dahomey, where my people come from, in Haiti. Knowing my history, I understand that I'm not a peasant. Knowing my history, or you knowing your history, then you know no one can just talk to you any kind of way. The spirit of fear, you cannot allow to take control of yourself. I want you to repeat after me. And this is going to help you get the spirit of faith into your life and make it into a full-fledged lifestyle. Because that's the only thing you're missing, is having that confidence. Victory after victory, being able to have a small victory or even having a big victory. Every victory counts. Each one is a pedestal to the top. You're going to have haters, you're going to have the enemy. When someone speaks a blessing in your life, you best believe the enemy hears it as well and wants to snatch it away from you. But guess what? I'm going to tell you how to fight that, starting today. Let me put these books up. As a matter of fact, these are all my 7 Types of Queens books. I thank God it came right on time. And which, but as a matter of fact, I need to tell you guys a quick story. Just this past weekend, July 21st and 22nd, Friday and Saturday, I was a featured author at the African American Research Library, the 2017 South Florida Book Festival, right? Now, with this book festival, it was an honor and privilege. There are so many great authors. I'm not even going to start to name any of the names because I may leave a few out, but I definitely want to give a shout out to Queen Suzanne from London, Lolita Files from Fort Lauderdale. She's in California doing big things. I definitely want to give a shout out to, who I'm forgetting here. Oh yes, Suzette Turnbull, who wrote a great book on social media management and things like that, and marketing. Who I want to forget? Oh yeah, Mr. Kevin, got his last name, but he's the big cook in Louisiana. He has a show on PBS. I mean, I met some great, powerful authors. Oh yes, I didn't forget you, Yahara St. Thomas, who wrote a great book, Miami After Hours. Now, with that being said, on that day, 21st, 22nd, the spirit of fear almost took control of me because my book was running late. I had some complications with the editor, which we fixed, and complications with the book designer, who had to get it formatted so I could get them printed. Right? Right. So once I got the books, order set in, and I realized, look, if I don't make this order today, there's a very slim chance I'll get this book by Friday. And I made these orders by the 9th or the 10th, right? July 9th or the 10th, right? So I'm on the phone with the people like, Kevin, you just may not make it in time unless you pay next day delivery. I can't pay next day delivery. It's gonna cost me a fortune, right? So I was like, this is what I'm gonna do though. We're gonna set the order right now. I'm gonna pay for 2-day delivery, which was a fortune, you know. I ordered 52 books, paid an excessive amount of money for these books, and long story short, there was a chance that the books was not going to get here on time because come Thursday, the night before, I still did not have the books, but it said that the books were on the way. So I'm assuming, okay, the books will get here in the morning, and the books wasn't here in the morning. I was here all morning, and I went to work, and as I was at work, I'm checking my email to see if I had any updates, and the book hasn't got here. This is Friday now, and the event, I have to be at the place by 6 o'clock, but really 5:30, and it's 4 o'clock, I don't have the books. So I'm calling the UPS people like, look, I got an event coming up, please tell me where the driver is. They're telling me they're trying to find a driver. I'm like, and at this whole time, I'm speaking words of encouragement to myself, knowing that if I do not have my books for that night, it'll be a big embarrassment to me as an author and also to the library for featuring me as one of the featured authors at this big event. Mind you, we've had a big marketing campaign towards promoting the book. Now, I'm speaking positivity in my life, into my spirit. I'm speaking it. And then I came up with an idea, can I meet the driver? Now, I made a video 2 years ago called Positive Thinking, the power of positive thinking. It's like a lightning strike, you know, as the image placement for the video on YouTube. You'll find it. Go to my channel. Make sure you subscribe. Watch that video. It's like one of my top videos. I think I got like 5,000 views on it, or 7,000 views. Now, I'm speaking these things, and then they told me, you know what? Actually, you can meet him. Can you get to such and such place by such and such time? Now, I'm in the hotel with Queen Suzanne doing a video for our London book tour, our King and Queen United book tour in London, coming up this September 27th to October 10th. And which, by the way, go to my website, 7queens7kings.com, more information on kevindorival.com. And she calls me like literally after, actually right before we did the video. So I'm like, okay, let's shoot this video right quick. Let me get out of here. Boom, let's go find a driver. Mind you, it's raining, it's a Friday afternoon, it's rush hour. I have 30 minutes to get to some place. It's gonna take me 45 minutes in the traffic. Did I panic? No, because I said, God, you did not bring me this far to let me fail. I am gonna get those books. I kept saying to myself, all the way to the driver. Get this. I find the driver in his complex, and the driver is about to leave. I asked the security guard, hey, have you seen the UPS driver? He said, I've seen him, but I don't know if he left because the complex is so big, the driver had to go all the way around in another direction. And another exit that's just south of where the main entrance was. A huge complex in Fort Lauderdale. I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Florida right now, Your Honor. That's what we're talking about. So I find a driver. I stop the driver. Hey. I get out my car, wave him down with an umbrella. Hey, please stop. Do you have books in your car? Did someone contact you about having books in your truck? They're like, okay, yes, so you're the young man. Perfect, boom. Give me the books. You know what I'm saying? I have my clothes already in the car. I rush to the place. I barely have time to change. I literally change while I'm driving to the place. Every stop sign, every stop light, I'm stopping, I'm fixing something. And mind you, I'm looking very sharp. Go to my Instagram. You see the link below, Courage to Believe, that's number 2, or at 7 Queens, 7 Kings, that's number 7. My Instagram, you see the pictures, very beautiful pictures. And so, had I allowed fear to control me, I would have gave up, I would have cussed out the UPS driver, the customer service over the phone. I would never try to attempt to go find the driver. I was just giving up. And the enemy would have been perfectly happy with that. And everybody who wants me to fail would have been happy with that. But guess what? I didn't focus on that. And neither should you. Repeat after me. Speak it, believe it, execute the plan. That's the key to success. Speak it, believe it, and execute the plan. Every time I do a workshop, whether it's a school or church, college, university, or in the streets, I use those acronyms. SBE. Speak it, believe it, execute the plan. What plan am I talking about executing? The plans you have for your life. Everyone should have a life goal, a life plan. Because if you do not have a life plan, a life goal, you're going to find yourself in a panic attack trying to figure out where you're going, how you're going to do it, how you're going to get there, and why are you going there. Having a life plan, a life goal motivates you to continue pursuing your dreams so that you will not give up when things get tough. Because things will get tough. Have the spirit of courage, have the spirit of faith, and denounce fear. That's all you got to do, and you will be successful. My name is King Kevin Dorival. I hope you learned something very powerful today. Please subscribe to this video, tell a friend, share it. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and all that good stuff. Get my book, 7 Types of Queen King Desire. And, of course, the book that started it all, Courage to Believe, Never Give Up, Keep Moving Forward. Be blessed, be encouraged. And yes, I'm a 2-time world champion. This is a hardcover, by the way. I don't even have a hardcover for this book, but I got one for 7 Queens. So, thank you for your support. Many blessings. Much love. Be strong. God bless.